Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over what financial assistance a hospital may be giving you with your student loans. So do you want to pursue a career in medicine, but you're unsure about how to pay off the cost of such an expensive endeavor? Are you curious about whether hospitals may help? I am here to offer you some information about how much assistance you can depend on from your employers once your career begins. I know that with how expensive medical school is, it pays to be aware early of potential ways to start paying off the many debts, as the end goal of pursuing a career in medicine is often working at a hospital or any clinical setting. It stands to reason that you may be wondering what you can depend on for assistance when you are beginning. I know that just because the job you will eventually get will most likely pay well, it doesn't mean that you won't be contributing a considerable amount of your paycheck to your loans. And so knowing your options to lessen the burden is super important. My name is Dr. Ava. I am an internal medicine hospitalist. Having worked in the hospital for a long time now, I'm hoping to offer insight into the avenues open to you in your career, taken from my personal experiences. I know that the process of talking about needing help can be intimidating, but I will provide methods to calm your anxieties and approach the topic respectfully. So knowing that there are loans to pay off is a scary prospect, even when you are not attending college for the length of time that you are at medical school. When taking into account the many years and tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, of loans waiting at the end of your college career, it makes total sense that you can be intimidating. But it's important to remember that you are not alone in having to pay off the cost of such a school. Thousands upon thousands of people have been where you are now, including myself. It is a lot of pressure, but taking things one step at a time breaks the payments into manageable segments, which in turn makes your anxiety a bit more manageable as well. You're also entering into a career that pays well, which is very helpful. Saving money, making smart choices about housing, and watching how much you spend are all important steps to making sure that you can pay off the expenses of college. While the job pays well, other options are available to help shoulder the weight. If you are very mindful, having the ability to keep up on your payments will hopefully be made easier. And don't worry when you notice the amount of time it will take to finish off your loans, as the average time is 13 years. So, will hospital pay off loans? That is the ultimate question. The answer is that it depends on the hospital. Increasingly, loan forgiveness programs for medical students are cropping up. These are set in place to forgive your debt. The trade-off, however, is that you will most likely need to work in an area that is high need or is a nonprofit, as the program is geared towards those that are involved in public work programs. This, of course, limits the pay, location options, employers, and possibly even specialty that you are interested in. There are jobs that have full-time employment, as it will be in an area that has a shortage of doctors and is looking for more. So when considering this option, you have to weigh your pros and your cons. Think about if the area where you live is important for you. I always wanted to live in a big city, stay close to a major airport, so this was not an option that I considered. Even though the hospital you decide to work with may not take on your loan, there are other options that may be taken into consideration. For instance, to discuss a sign-on bonus with your employer upon being hired. While this won't completely pay off your loans, it can potentially contribute greatly. This will lower your overall interest rate and improve the situation you're in. Look up or talk to other doctors about how much they ask for in their own sign-in bonus and the locations you're interested in to get an idea of how much you could ask for. It is not an uncommon practice. So when you discuss a sign-on bonus, make sure to remain respectful. Don't come into the conversation with a desperate or greedy attitude, but rather a temperament where you can stand your ground without offending. Remain calm, but be frank with your employer about what you were hoping to receive. It doesn't hurt to ask, as long as you do so in a manner that is suited to the position you are approaching the conversation from. a new employee that wants some help. If you are looking for other ways to help you pay them off quicker, here's what I recommend. You can make your payments twice a month instead of just once. Paying twice a month will in total add up to a whole extra payment a year, cutting down significantly on the length of time it will take to pay back your loans over a great length of time. The other benefit to doing this is that the amount of interest that you will accrue will be less than it otherwise would be as you finish quicker. Rounding up your loan payments is another way to pay off your loans consistently. Rounding up another $10 or $20 or whatever number that you're comfortable with is another way that you can shorten your payments over a long length of time. It is the equivalent of maybe not buying a certain luxury item you may have wanted and helps in the long term. I want to be clear that for both rounding the payments up and paying more often, I understand not everyone is in a situation where they're able to do so. I feel for your situation and want to be clear that while these are options to speed the process, they are not necessary to pay off your loans. Another thing you can look into is refinancing your loans. You should research this more on your own before doing so, but it is an option. Refinancing your loans is something to look into, particularly if your credit score has drastically improved since you applied for them, or if the interest rates have dropped since taking them out. Again, do your own research before taking this advice on whether your situation is right to apply for a refinance. Looking at what loans loom over you after finishing medical school can be anxiety-inducing, but it is not an insurmountable mountain. Be patient, pay on the deadlines, and you will be just fine. Ask your employers about what they are willing to contribute, if possible. Also, if possible, pay ahead or just a little above what is due to expedite the process and over time, decrease the amount of interest that you will be paying. Take a deep breath, make a plan, and get to work. If you want support in this period of your life, get in touch with me for my one-on-one support. I have an online mentorship live with me, you and I, together for a whole hour with me teaching you step by step on how you can successfully manage all the aspects that come with becoming a doctor. Click on the link below to learn more. See you next time.